Okay, guys, sorry about that. My ScreenPal app only lets me record 15-minute blocks. It is actually a very great, very user-friendly app for anyone looking to make presentations, but it does cut you off at 15 minutes. Again, it's called ScreenPal for anyone who's interested. So where were we? Vision gives meaning to work. Yes, of course. We've talked about this a few times in a few different ways. The example here that's given is that Henry Ford, so from the Ford Car Company, his vision was to have affordable cars that could make families' lives better. And so workers found pride in small tasks that align to a larger purpose. So back in the early days of Ford, that's all assembly line work. It's really backbreaking work. Working in factories is not always enjoyable, but people felt really proud that they were putting something together that was new, that was important, that was changing people's lives, that felt special. And so we can find pride in small tasks in the day to day, sometimes difficult or dull things when it's aligned with that larger sense of purpose. Another example out of NASA is I'm putting a man on the moon. So if I'm sitting around all day just doing math, I don't know about you guys, that doesn't sound fun to me. But if I know that that math is about calculating the way that a spaceship needs to expend fuel if it's going to make it around the moon and make its way home, that matters to me. That feels special. So the effective use of vision is really when a strong leader helps their team see that the work that they do is working toward this larger sense of vision, and also that their own individual values and sense of purpose as a person also connect to the organizational vision. So if I'm sitting around doing math all day to put someone on the moon, and I don't care about putting someone on the moon, that doesn't align with my individual sense of purpose, then knowing that my math contributes to that isn't as effective. I need both those things. I need to know that my day-to-day tasks work toward a larger vision, and I need my individual sense of purpose. I need to care to be aligned with that vision as well. So that's how we increase motivation and commitment. That's how we keep output as good as it can be so people give us better results. And that we make sure that morale stays high, even when we have to do repetitive or difficult things. So when we're talking about individual purpose, what do I mean by that? I said this on the previous slide. I talked about kind of values. I talked about, what matters to the individual. And this is really just explaining that a bit more clearly to make sure that I don't confuse you all. So individual purpose, what we want to know about the people who work for us, who work with us, is what matters to them. And when we know that, we can hopefully connect them, assuming that they are in fact a good fit for our team, for our company. If we know about their individual sense of purpose, then we can help inspire them by connecting that to the work that we do. So there are a few different types of individual purpose that are outlined here. There's lots of different ways we could talk about this, but this is just an example from the textbook. So types of individual purpose, there are some people who really value achievement. So the high achiever is someone who is probably going to be more inspired by things centered around tradition and respect and task accomplishment. They are motivated by things like status, and they want to avoid failure. The free spirit is someone who really values freedom and independence, probably also going to be someone who really looks for opportunities to be creative, and they dislike being micromanaged. So these are things we keep in mind when we're trying to lead people like this, right? If I'm leading the achiever, I want to give them opportunities to advance, and I want to, in some ways, I want to create a little bit of healthy anxiety around failure, right? The wanting to avoid failure is not a bad thing. That actually keeps us motivated and energized to keep trying harder. And so I want to give them opportunities for advancement, and I want them to really kind of tap into their dislike of failure. The free spirit, I'm going to avoid micromanaging them. I'm going to give them as much freedom and independence as I can to do the job to the best of their ability, knowing that I'm available if they need me. The caregiver is a team member who really values caring and stability. They really want to prioritize helping other people and having a good work-life balance. So providing this type of person with opportunities to do team building, to provide coaching, as well as receiving that. They also will value reciprocity. So if they need help, they know that we, their leaders, are there to help them, but also they have opportunities to maybe mentor newer team members, or teach people new skills that they're particularly good at, things like that. So they really are someone who's going to thrive in those relational opportunities. So when we align the individual purpose with the work being done, we see boosts in both that individual person's engagement, so their kind of energy at work, their investment in the job, and also the actual output, the actual performance. So connecting individual purpose with the organization's mission, the jobs that need to get done, is going to lead to better outcomes for that person as well as for us, the leader, us, the organization. Many employees feel unmotivated and disconnected from their company's purpose. So a lot of people just show up to work and do the job and punch out. They don't actually feel invested or even aware of what sort of the company's larger purpose is. However, those employees that are aligned with a higher sense of purpose report better well-being, more engagement, and being more productive. So this is where I was going to take a break. I apologize I couldn't get through in one recording. From here, what I'm going to get you guys to do is to actually go back into the course, the weekly folder for week 12, and you guys are going to watch this TED Talk, and you're going to be able to respond to it on the discussion board there. Okay, so that's going to be part 2 for this week. Thanks so much.